And welcome back, everybody. It is time for another edition of the WyoNation Roundup. I am your host, Chad Smith. Greetings to you wherever you may be. Joining me tonight is Mr. Brad Reed.
Howdy.
And on the bottom here, Bryan Stevens.
Hey.
Coming not fresh, but off his appearance last week on the CSU basketball show. So I hope you guys enjoyed that interview last week before a big Wyoming win. So Bryan, we'll hand it over to you to kind of talk about your time with Steve and then the border war over the weekend.
Yeah. So first of all, Steve's one of the better Mountain West podcasters around. So if you're at all interested in Mountain West basketball, give him a follow. Steve Ivy at Swolecracker on X. So I'll give him a plug. He's a really good guy, even though he works for the Sheep. He's all right. Border War team came to play. They were not messing around. Last year, the team didn't seem to have a sense of urgency. They didn't seem to understand the rivalry. I think the addition of Chris McMillan to the staff and the addition of Neil Summers to the roster really helped this year, along with Garrett Spielman. But I think Spielman was on the team last year, if I remember right.
Correct.
But having all those guys made a huge difference to saying, listen, this is a big deal. This is a big deal not only to us, it's a big deal to the state of Wyoming. You guys need to sit up and pay attention. And that's exactly what they did. They came out, they balled out. Caden Bennett was a man possessed. he was a one-man team at the border war. So all in all, you couldn't ask for a much better border war. It was awesome. And then came San Diego State. The want to was there. The defensive effort was there. Sonny talked today in the press conference about we're starting to find our defensive identity again, guarding the arc. He's like, we don't have the firepower to take away the arc and the paint. And we don't have the size to take away the paint. So we have to take away the arc. And they've been doing well. The last two teams we played have shot 17% from three. The problem is we have not shot well. I asked Sonny today in the press conference about that. I was like, hey, is there something schematically coaches can do, or do the players just have to make the plays? And he gave a very, Sundance answer. He talked about what they do as coaches. He talked about what they do as players. He talked about what he's seen. But the bottom line is coaches can't make the shots. They can put them in position all day. The players have to make the plays. That's all there is to it.
Now, I don't know. I'm pretty sure with all the shenanigans going on in NCAA basketball, I think we could give McMillan a game. The NCAA might give him a game.
I don't know if his ankles can handle it anymore. He's about our age these days, but
and Sundance too. Why not? Right?
Yeah. Hey, Sonny's a shooter. He says it all the time.
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure he was a Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Wyoming when he was in high school. Right.
I think that's correct.
Yeah. So I mean, why not?
just let him shoot from the bench. It's fine. Sonny's already standing up anyway.
Yeah, right. Just put it up from back on the bench. A few other notes from the press conference today. Well, we're down 4 players. Belich and Harris are both out. Magas is still dealing with an Achilles strain that he's got to heal up. And Gore's picked up a hand injury in San Diego, so we don't know if he's going to be available too. So we're basically sitting at 8 scholarship players plus Talon Taylor and Garrett Spielman. So the Utah State game tomorrow, which is a gold out, by the way. Utah State game tomorrow is not going to be easy. They beat New Mexico in the pit by 22 points. We saw what they did when we were on the road. Sonny said, luckily, the good news is we didn't show them anything. We didn't defend. We didn't shoot well. We didn't have any offense. He's like, they have no idea what we're going to do because they haven't seen us play.
Hopefully Sonny knows what they're going to do.
Yeah. I have no doubt that the coaching staff is doing what they need to do to make sure that this team is successful. I think we've got a really good staff. It's just
horses.
It's just the way the season goes, man. I mean, you're always going to get injuries in basketball. Between his concussion and being sick right afterwards, Nas has lost about 17 pounds in 2 weeks.
Holy moly.
He been on the wrestler diet?
What's that?
He been on the wrestler diet?
I guess. Sonny said, man, he worked all summer to put weight on, and he put on about 17 pounds, and that's all gone within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And he's like, it affects his stamina. He can't finish at the rim as well. It's just,
Sure.
the season's a grind. You're talking 30 games in 4 months.
Mhm.
That's rough, man.
Yeah, I don't know. What is it? I mean, I forget now. Typical high school schedule is how many games?
15.
High school is only 15.
Maybe twice a week.
Oh no, I mean Nash came from. Well, I mean he's from California, but wasn't he on like some kind of prep school circuit somewhere else? So.
Yeah,
I'm sure he did AAU. If you're doing AAU, you're playing a lot more games than you are if you just play in college.
Sure.
Clearly, Nas came ready to play. He and Gores both. They came in physically mature, mentally mature. They're playing a lot as freshmen. Simsadi's doing a pretty good job. He's getting better as the season rolls along. But we've got a good freshman core this year. So, hopefully, I asked Sonny today, what's the balance? What's the balance between having the players ready to win now and making sure they know that, hey, if you come back, it's going to get better? And he said, we preach the process, man. He's like, that's all we can do. If you preach the process, then you're going to win games. And if you preach the process and kids buy into the process, they're going to want to continue to buy into the process. So, it's a tough job being a head coach in college basketball these days, but I think we've got the right guy for the job, personally.
Sure. Yeah. Well, interesting. So I guess I'm trying to remember. I mean, the Utah State game, I had it on, wasn't really paying attention, right? Because it was non-competitive. Size-wise, how do they stack up? Because if we're down Gores and Magassa, I mean, that's going to leave it to, who? I guess Sadi, and who's going to be playing in those big spots? We're going to have to play some small ball, aren't we?
Yeah, we played small ball last time. Sorry, Brad said my microphone's being goofy, so...
It is a little bit.
Let's try that one.
There we go. That's a little better.
Sure. All right. So, yeah, we played small ball last time against them. Jesus,
your camera's gone. There we go. If it's not one thing, it's the other.
The biggest problem is we just didn't defend. That was the biggest thing. Utah State's too deep at every position, and they're too deep with efficient players that are able to produce too. So, you look at your Utah States and your San Diego States of the conference, those are the guys that they preach their process. They got those guys to stick around.
Mm-hmm.
As you'll recall, Mason Falsell has been in the portal twice now, and both times he's come back to Utah State. He's a huge piece of what they do. So,
yeah,
they're doing what they need to do, and that's the blueprint for success.
No one escapes Logan.
Yeah, that's true.
Apparently.
Yeah, so that's how I was going to kind of – my next question here is, what can we take from the Colorado State game? Now, granted, I don't think they're a particularly good team. They're in a rebuild, right, with a brand-new head coach. But like you said, they showed up because Sonny and Chris kind of showed them the importance of the border war, but in reality, every game should be treated like that if you want to be a good program.
If we're being honest, the crowd helped a lot.
Sure,
a lot. There were, 7,000 people there, give or take. That's by far the biggest crowd we've had. That's over 50% in the AA. We've all been in the AA when it's full. It's a scary place to play when that place is rocking. So, it's a chicken and the egg proposition. You need fans there to be able to play well, but you need to play well to be able to get the fans there. So it's really tough. I'm glad to see that, for the first time this year, we had a good crowd and they played a good game. So that's helpful. It's just, they've got a tough road to hoe here. There's been 10 years of bad basketball in Laramie. We haven't had a winning season since 21-22. It's been tough. So all there is to it is, they're working on the rebuild. This is honestly year one of the rebuild. Last year doesn't really count. Sonny talked about the reason, he got good players on the team. Like the reason Obi Agbim got paid and is over at Baylor kicking ass is because he was taking the least efficient shots in the country, and he was the most efficient scorer coming off of those shots. So he was shooting tough shots and making them. And he's a unicorn. That's not something that happens. It's like a Quail caught the year before. Maybe we should go back to Fort Lewis and keep rating them because those guys have been awesome for us.
Yeah, and I actually watched Baylor play over the weekend. They happened to be on TV, and they're pretty terrible in the Big Ten, or not the Big Ten, the Big 12. They have like a 1-10 record. So OB looked good, but they're just getting railed in the Big 12 this season.
I mean, the Big 12 is the toughest basketball conference in the country. Like, say what you want about the ACC, but the Big 12 is stacked.
Well, I think the Big 10 is just
Big 10's good too.
Big East is always good.
Yeah. Say there's the parity in basketball is so much fun to watch. Like, obviously the cream rises to the top, but you can watch a Mountain West game any night of the week. Hell, I was just watching William and Mary against UNC Wilmington, and it was a hell of a good game, man. Like, good teams are good teams, and they're fun to watch.
Wilmington was a tournament team last year too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to pull up what the line is for the Utah State game. What time is that?
What was the quote that Cody captured after the Sheep game? It was something like they weren't talking shit because we'd put a belt to them.
Yeah, Leland Walker. He's like, we put a belt to them so they weren't running their mouths much.
Yeah.
We've got good talent on this team. There is good talent to be had. But when we asked Sonny about the scoring droughts, one of the things he said today is most of our offensive problems don't come from missed shots. It's not guys not able to shoot. It's guys turning the ball over. So, you can put players in whatever position you can put them in. You can put the ball in whoever's hand, but at the end of the day, the players have to make the plays. And as it sits right now, when you've got guys transferring, a bunch of times, every time they transfer, they lose about 3 months worth of athletic development. If you have a guy in a program for more than a year, like look at Mattia Belic and Magasa this year. Those guys are markedly better than what they were last year. And that's 1 year. Abu was a freshman last year. He's a sophomore this year. And he's still a bench player. He's not a major contributor, but he's probably the best post defender we have because he's a big dude. He can throw some weight around.
All right, I just pulled up the matchup. Vegas doesn't have a line out, probably because they heard the press conference today, right? And with the injuries. But the betting line,
basketball lines don't come out till day of.
Okay. Well, sometimes they're a day or two before. But right now the money line is minus 733 Utah State, which is pretty crazy. So that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, Utah State's one of the better teams in the country. They're going to be playing in March in the NCAA tournaments, and I will be shocked if they don't win at least one game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is the Mountain West in the tournament, so.
Yeah, but they're not Boise State either.
We'll see, yeah. The referees, right, condition us to be weak.
Well, and that's another thing you got to worry about in college basketball. When you're a better team in a marquee matchup, you're going to get the better officiating crew because they want to prepare those guys to be able to play in March. When you're Wyoming and San Diego State where the game doesn't matter, you're not getting the top crew. They're not going to call it like they will in the postseason. Now, Wyoming CSU was a big matchup. We got a good crew on that. Sonny specifically mentioned, that was a physical game and they swallowed their whistles. That's what it's like in March.
Yeah.
When we played San Diego State, same amount of physicality, tons of fouls called.
I've always thought it was crazy that the Mountain West has always gotten so much crap for being, first round and bounced out of the tournaments. But you look at the history of like Mountain West, like seeding in the NCAA tournament, and that's always upside down. Like the Mountain West is never in a favorable 8+ matchup. It's always 9 and below.
Yeah.
So it's like the way you seeded them, they're supposed to be underdogs, but.
And you look at when they are seeded well, like look at Nevada a few years back when they were a 7 seed. Look at the San Diego State when they went to the national title game and they were
even then
you're
a 7 seed playing, a team that's
7-10,
really good too.
7-12, yeah.
Yeah, those 7-10 games are fun, but we got a team in the play-in every year. That's just an extra game. And then when you're in the play-in,
Yeah.
you're either a 16 or a 12.
Yeah. And you're playing usually a Power 4 school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really don't think the power, non-power translates nearly as well to basketball as it does to football.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of big
Agreed.
money basketball schools out there that are strictly that.
Mhm.
Well, they don't have football, so they can afford to fund basketball.
Right.
Gonzaga.
Some of them there.
St. Mary's. UNC
Yep.
Wilmington.
And it's a lot cheaper, obviously, right, to run a basketball program than a football program. So
Yeah, I think your top basketball programs are spending somewhere around the area of $5 million a year. So you talk about a $5 million a year payroll in basketball for 13 scholarship players or 15 total players. That goes a lot further than $5 million goes for 85 or 115 football players.
Mhm. So all right, any other basketball notes you'd like to get out there?
Just thinking back to the press conference, yeah, we're doing the best we can. Sonny said, this is about where I expected us to be. He's like, I'm proud of us. It's like, we won 12 games last year. We're at 13 wins this year with a chance to win quite a few more if we can. It's like, it's not going to be easy.
Schedule's
like
hard.
The floor of the Mountain West has raised this year. The ceiling's always been high, but your Air Forces and San Jose States and Wyomings of the world are better teams this year than they have been in the past. So, the league is better, and I'm still pretty bitter that we didn't just freaking merge with what the Pac has become. Because golly, that'd be a hell of a basketball league. It'd be a good football league too, but basketball would be insane.
Yeah, we'll get into that here when we talk TV. So, but before that, I'm going to let Brad, talk about wrestling. Shay's not here, so Brad's going to have to carry the banner there.
Shay,
What's going on with the
Carry the
duels?
singlet.
Yeah,
Carry the
carry the
singlet, I
singlet
like
and
it.
headgear, as it were. Yeah, Shay's obviously a lot better with the wrestling stuff because he actually, watches the duels, whereas I kind of just read about them afterward. Not a great Saturday for the Cowboys playing Oregon State, wrestling Oregon State, not playing, I guess. Just not the best result, not what they were hoping for, especially with a packed crowd too. I was reading a quote that Mark Branch had, and he said they're not too happy with how they wrestled Saturday. They're ready to put that behind them and show a better product this weekend, and that's what we expect. The Unawyo, I guess that's what it is, right? Was sold out. It was packed crowd, and
Nice.
but yeah, just didn't get those matches to quite go their way. Christian Carroll, though, just still a wrecking ball, still just beating people. So that's really encouraging. It's, having an elite heavyweight that's a blessing on a wrestling team. So
When's the last time we had a all-American caliber heavyweight?
Man, just the name off the top of my head is maybe Dusty Hofschneider, maybe back when we were in college.
I was going to say, that's been a minute, man.
Yeah, that was when we were in college, and I just none of the rest of them are really popped into my head at the moment. But
name 3.
Yeah, Shay's already got 3. Like, just watching this as he's rage driving down the road right now. But yeah, so the Willichell brothers, they're still hammering away, still winning for us. So yeah, they're still keep it on. They got a couple duels this weekend. They got Air Force tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? That's a duel that starts at 6:00 at home. So Air Force not good this year. 4-5 on the season, 0-4 in the Big 12. They do have Joey Novak in the lineup for both tomorrow and Sunday.
Great news.
If he wrestles, we'll see. I mean, I think he was in the lineup last week too, and he didn't wrestle. So
probably no need to wrestle him twice, right? Probably just pick the softer landing spot if you want to get him back into the rhythm.
Yeah, and Air Force is projected to run out of Carson Tompkins. He's the 30th ranked wrestler. So then, yeah, and NDSU has the number 28 guy in the 197 spot. So
Okay. There's not really a soft landing for him this weekend.
no, not at all. But, the duel with Air Force, that's one Wyoming should probably run away with. So that'd be good. They've only got a couple of ranked guys, and they're low ranked guys. So NDSU should be a little bit tougher. They've had a little bit tougher schedule than Air Force, and usually have a decent team. But looks like they've got 3 ranked guys. Their highest guy being ranked number 16 at 149 to go against Gabe Willichell. So home duel with Gabe, that should be a good match for him.
Yeah, and Shea is going to be in Laramie for
Shea
the
will
duel.
be in Laramie.
He should have some pictures. I don't know if he's going to be able to get some interviews. I haven't talked to him about that yet, but I mean, he's got good access. So maybe he can get a word or two with a coach or a wrestler, and
He'll
get
just
a
be
video of
excited to
that.
be there.
So yeah, he picked this weekend specifically to get 2 duels in. So
Yep.
He's going to be pretty happy. So yeah, follow him. He'll have a blog out on the website, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So be checking that out, of course, because the reason we're here is because of WyoNation.com. So come and get your news there. Shea with the wrestling. Bryan posts press conference notes on the message board every week. If you want to get the clip
every
note
week that I can get there.
Yeah, sure. Which is hard because you're right. The schedule bounces around. Like he had today, right? Was a press conference day.
Yeah. Well, and again, like we do this for the love, not for the money. So
exactly.
we got to make money somehow.
Have you guys got your paycheck of Bored Apes lately?
No.
Oh, okay. No Bored Apes, cryptos. Gotta remind me to send you those.
There we go. Yes, please do that. It'd be excellent. I guess wrestling wise, to kind of get your thoughts on like kind of how the team is heading as we rapidly approach the end of the season here, to where it'll be national duels before too long.
Yeah, no, they're kind of getting towards the end of their schedule here. They got back to back this weekend, Friday, Sunday. Sitting at 3-1 in the Big 12 right now, going 5-1 to end the weekend would be definitely ideal. Then that'll leave them with a couple of tough one, or one tough one. They've got a match with Oklahoma left at home. So Oklahoma is ranked right around where Wyoming is. They're at 21, and I think we're at 22. Then Northern Colorado. So next weekend they'll have Northern Colorado in Greeley, then home for Oklahoma State. Then they got the Cowboys shootout, then the Big 12 tournament at the beginning of March. So
yeah,
rapidly approaching the Big 12 tournament with just essentially four duels left, plus like the Cowboy shootout.
Yeah. I think I asked Shea this: is the Big 12 is like in Tulsa or Oklahoma
Yeah,
City?
it rotates every year. I think it's Tulsa this year. I think that would make sense. Yeah, I don't see it on the schedule just offhand, but yeah.
Yeah, and those are great because the Big 12 is usually on ESPN Plus, which is always fun to watch all those duels going live at the same time on the multi-camera view of all the different mats. So
yeah. So latest coaches poll, Cowboys are sitting at 25, moving down a little bit with that loss to Oregon State. So still in top 25. That's good.
I was going to say top 25 is still pretty good. I mean, how many wrestling schools are out there? Like 80?
Oh Lord. Yeah, it's got to be something like that. I don't know the number. It seems to change every year with who's, adding and mostly dropping their program nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere around like 80.
So yeah, I mean, if you're in the top 25, it means you're in the upper third of all of college wrestling. So it's a good spot to be.
There's not many opportunities for Cowboy teams to hit the top 25 nowadays, it seems like. So it's good to see one of them excelling.
No, 100%. Yep. And that's what we should not take for granted. that the program that they built, and then
And
the
still,
infrastructure that they put in.
Still, at this point, one of the only teams to put up multiple wins against Penn State.
Yeah, who is just wrecking through people this season.
Yeah, I saw last weekend Nebraska got a handful of wins on them. So,
but still got destroyed in the team.
still got
Yeah.
just obliterated. And unfortunately, AJ Ferrari did win again. So,
Okay. Well,
unfortunately,
I mean, not at life, but
on the mat, he definitely did win.
mhm.
Yeah. So, still one of the only teams to put up multiple wins on Penn State. So, got to hang your hat on that.
There we go. Yeah. So good luck to the Cowboys this weekend as they have a couple home duels. Hope they come away with 2 big wins.
2 would be awesome.
And Shay will be back with a full report because he's going to be there. So
He's going to be so excited.
look forward to that next week. He's going to have all kinds of notes because he talks to everybody, wrestlers, parents, the coaches.
he did post on social media that he's like, I never thought I'd write, man, I got to get out of Virginia and into Wyoming where it's warm.
Yeah. True.
It's true.
100% true. So, all right, to wrap up the show tonight, we will talk about the announced Mountain West TV deal that was put out this week by the conference. So on that note, the conference did announce that, and it is still being reported that the football schedule will still come out in the same time it does. So I'm guessing probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will have a football schedule out, which will be, of course, something to take a
Where
look
the
at.
Mountain West will not be playing home and homes with their own conference mates. Just, throwing that out.
Exactly. Yeah. We will not have to do that. That is very true.
That was mean.
Very true. So
No,
let me
that was
throw this up
factual.
here.
I know.
Here are the details. This is the best one I could find. A nice little snippet from Chris Murray, one of the better writers in the Mountain West.
Mhm.
So they announced most of this we knew. CBS and Fox were givens, but I think the CW was a bit of a surprise.
I'm happy about the CW. There's the Mountain West actually has more games on there than the Pac does, and that is a free broadcast channel that anybody can watch.
Yeah.
Maybe the production quality is not as high, but I'm here for it. That's really, really great exposure for the conference.
It is. In the CW, I think they have the ACC like during the day, and then they'll have Pac-12 or Pac whatever. Sorry, not the Pac-12, the Pac whatever.
Mhm.
And then Mountain West games at night. And I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting when the schedule comes out if there's going to be like double headers, right? You might have a Mountain West game and a Pac game in the same night, depending on start times and locations and stuff. CBS Fox runs through 2032, so a good, that's about a 7-year deal there. CW a year shorter, 150 linear events per year. That includes women's and men's basketball as well. And then I guess the biggest thing to know for you as the fan is that the Mountain West app or the Mountain West network that you get, most people I think probably watch on the website. I don't know what people do, but either watching those free games on the website or on the phone or on your iPad is now moving to a subscription model. But they hid like kind of the big takeaway in their press release that I even missed, and Bryan pointed out to me, and they stuck it in the bottom that if you have Amazon Prime, it is actually already free. It will be free through your Amazon Prime account to watch it.
I'm a little fuzzy on that. So they said it might be available through Prime subscriptions. So it might actually be a subscription on top of
I got
whatever
you.
the
Sure.
Prime thing is.
Prime does have that. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Murray made a good point. He's like, listen, if it's $6 a month, that's reasonable. If it's anything more than that, they're in trouble.
Yeah. So I guess they're supposedly set to announce that fairly soon what the pricing model will be. It's going to go live in July or either late June or early July.
I'm really hoping they keep the costs down because part of the agreement is you pick which team you're a fan of, and that school gets paid for your subscription. So if a bunch of Wyoming fans subscribe, Wyoming's going to make more than a Grand Canyon where they don't have many fans subscribe to it.
Yeah.
And that's just an example. I'm sure Grand Canyon people will subscribe to, but
yeah. So that is the thing, right? They did this to kind of boost the coffers of schools, knowing, hey, this is the NIL. And I think most people would be like, you know what? If I know this money is going directly to the Wyoming's athletic department, you're going to be more inclined to subscribe to it. So I'll subscribe, right? Because there's a good chance we're going to have 4, 5, 6 games next year on that service, and it's going to be the only way for you to watch it. So, but interesting.
Probably not a lot of people tuning in for Wyoming versus NIU. Like that one's prime for a Mountain West app game.
More than likely, but you never know. Depending on where that game is, if it's in the central time zone, right, it might get picked up somewhere.
I've been told they have a very large alumni base, and that's why they're special.
NIU?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I can't think of anybody who should be unhappy about that. It gets you into the time zones. I think Toledo's still on
I
the
still
board.
think that was a horrific addition to the conference.
Okay. Well, interesting. I think it's good considering what we had out there. But yeah, no, good point, Brian, about the subscriptions. I do know on Amazon Prime, there are a ton of different subscriptions you can add on to that to be able to watch it right easily through the Prime app. So it may not be free. It may be something that you get through there. So we'll see. The devil will be in the details, but it is what it is. And at least the money isn't just going to the conference. It's going to go to the schools. So I take that as a positive. And the biggest thing, no financial terms released. I've been told that all the details and everything hasn't been like finalized, that there's still more news to come. So we'll see what that looks like in the coming months on what that may mean in terms of if there's going to be another partner that's going to get added in, or if I don't know. There could still be, there's rumblings of a springtime announcement of more schools being added for 27 is in the card. So a lot of things to kind of look forward to there, perhaps, with the announcement of the new media deal.
So we are losing the games that were on TNT. Is TNT still in the college football business, or did they bail out of that already?
I forgot about that. I think it was 2 seasons ago we had like a game on there, right? We didn't have any this season.
Yeah, maybe it was 2. Yeah. The games on there were really good. Like they were, produced really well at the very
Oh,
least.
yeah. I mean, TNT is obviously, right? They used to have NBA back in the day. They have hockey now, right? So they do a good job of producing stuff. They know what they're doing. But yeah, no, I forgot that TNT did do I think at least 1 or 2 Wyoming games over the past couple of years.
TNT's under the Paramount umbrella, so that's why you'll see some games on there from time to time. Like they're part of CBS.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's just getting snapped up like everything else under these conglomerates. That's what they are.
Good for the customer, Chad. Just remember that.
Yes, it is. It's great for the customer. Monopolies are outstanding.
Good for the customer.
And of course, online, right, it's turned into a giant flame war about who got the better deal, the Pac whatever, or the Mountain West. And it seems to be a lot of just weird. I don't see too many Mountain West people raising this question. It's these weird, and you've all seen them, these weird Pac accounts of these people who want to beat their chests for whatever reason. But to get back, we can get Bryan rolling on what he said. Like, again, let's not beat our chests about who has the better deal and who's getting the most exposure. They could have all gotten a lot more money and a lot more exposure if they would have just had the egos.
You could have had a monopoly on the Mountain and Pacific time zones, like with the exception of, USC and UCLA being in the Big Ten and Stanford and Cal being in the ACC, which makes absolutely zero sense.
Correct.
This is the dumbest timeline.
It's stupid.
But didn't the details of the Pac-12 deal basically aren't the deals a wash between the two conferences?
Basically, so Washington
They're
State and Oregon State are pissed off that the deal is so low. Where it's like, well, yeah,
because they're
what did you
hemorrhaging
think
money.
was going to happen? Yeah.
Yep.
The Pac schools all have to pay their own production because they're using Pac-12 enterprises, so that takes a hit to it.
Yep.
And if it was that much better than the Mountain West deal, the Pac would have released it at the same time that the Mountain West released what they were doing in order to dance on the Mountain West grave. They didn't. That tells me they're pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Texas State should have held out for an invite to the American Athletic Conference.
So, yeah, it's going to be fascinating how this all ends up. I don't think the Pac will last long, again, because I know Boise, they like to chirp. And I've said this countless times, the devil is in the details, and Oregon State and Washington State have veto rights over everything. And Boise's not going to put up with that very long because they were whining and crying when they joined the Mountain West about everything.
Well,
and they're in a much worse situation now, I would say.
This will also be the first time that Wyoming and Colorado State haven't been conference mates since like the 1800s. I think that's going to wear on them way more than they think it will.
Sure. And that's a good question. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if San Diego State didn't like coming to Laramie, buddy, wait till you get to go to Pullman, Washington.
Yeah, I know. Pullman's probably more difficult to get to than Laramie.
Yeah, you got to fly to Spokane.
Yeah, I mean,
then drive.
Yeah,
and that road sucks. Two-lane crappy highway.
But speaking of the border war, Brian, they talked about it a little bit on TV. I don't know if you have heard anything or insight in terms of basketball. Do you foresee, now that we're non-conference mates, keeping up with the home and home? Because it makes too much sense.
I don't know if it's going to be home and home. Sonny came out and said last week in the presser, he's like, listen, we are doing everything we can. He said, if the basketball border war doesn't happen, it ain't because UW doesn't do everything they can.
And I could see them backing out because they're petulant.
Yeah. But again, why? Why? They have tried for years to make CU a rivalry, and it's not. Like CSU and Wyoming are peers. They're 60 miles apart. They've played each other in everything forever.
So I think a home and home makes sense, especially we have scheduling problems, obviously. I think they do too. It's not like they're getting the pick of the litter in terms of getting games. So hopefully the schools
you don't often see non-conference home and home in D1 basketball. That's the only thing that gives me pause.
It doesn't happen very often. True. Wyoming's done it a handful of times, and I could remember probably in the last 30 years. I think we had a home and home against, I think it was Creighton or somebody, or Wichita State.
I mean, alternating seasons though. I don't know. I can't remember ever having a home and home in the same season.
Yeah, no, we've had one. I'll have to look at the schedule, but it was in the late 90s or the early 2000s where we did that against a pretty good school. I don't think it was Creighton, but maybe it was. That's what's bouncing out in my head. But I don't think Creighton ever came to Laramie. But yeah, I'll look that up. But I remember it happened. But you're right; it doesn't happen often. But it would make sense in this case.
Now, I could see some kind of deal with going to Colorado State and Utah State coming to Laramie and vice versa, flopping that every 2 seasons. I could see that being a thing that happens. I don't know if Utah State would be down for it or not. They're not, they're not nearly the natural rivals that CSU is, but something like that I could see happening. There's Pac-12 is going to, or the Pac whatever is going to have Mountain West teams on their schedule. The Mountain West teams are going to have the Pac schools on their schedule. Yeah. It's going to look more the same.
And that's good. And you know what? Remember a couple of weeks ago when Sonny said, hey, don't worry, the non-conference season is going to be a lot better. And maybe that's it. Maybe he's already got deals to play some of these, right? If you're playing school or non-conference games against former conference teams, think how much that's going to prepare you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a net positive, I think. So, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see.
The only thing I can guarantee is that Brian Dutcher will never step foot in Laramie for the rest of his freaking life, man. Yeah. Nobody hates Laramie more than Steve Fisher and Brian Dutcher.
Yeah. I don't foresee San Diego State, ever coming back. But, I mean, Utah State would make sense. The Sheep, obviously. Boise, probably not. I'm trying to think who else.
Those are really the only three that make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if there'd be any interest from. Oh, I'm trying to think here. Yeah, that's probably about it, right? Those are the three closest teams. So,
Yeah. There's one more thing we need to talk about today, too, and that
Yeah.
is the Step Forward program that the university
Oh, yeah.
announced today.
oh, I've not even heard about this. Please tell us.
So the Step Forward campaign, basically, remember probably a month or so ago, we talked about Jay Sawville cut his salary by $125,000 to put it into NIL.
Mhm.
Since then, an anonymous donor has came forward and matched that, and now the university is asking, individual donors to get together and try to double the total contribution to get 500,000 total for
Okay.
football NIL. So that's a big campaign that the university just launched.
All right. So I did get an email from Cowboy Joe today. Is that who's
Yep.
headlining this? Great. Okay.
The one.
I didn't read it. I went to open it, and then somebody said, "Hey, Chad, you need to come to this meeting." And I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to read this
I wouldn't
email
have
from the
done that.
Cowboy Joe Club."
Yeah. Now they are counting contributions through the Cowboy Joe Club towards this. So if you're a member of the Cowboy Joe Club and you up your donation, that's counting. I mean, that
And
counts
what are
for all
the-
sports.
I guess are there perks that they're offering?
Nothing that they've said yet.
Okay, but it's just going to be matched by this donor, right? This donor is going to match.
Well, he
No,
matched
the donor's
Sawville.
already matched.
He's
Yeah.
already matched. Okay.
So now it's up to everybody else to match the 250,000 that has already been put up.
Oh, gotcha. All right. That should be pretty doable if they do it the right way.
Yeah. So they're trying to hit that by like March, or what was it? Reaching 500,000 by April 25th, which is the end of spring practice.
Okay.
So pretty aggressive campaign here in the next.
Yeah. We'll see. I've been thinking about getting someone from Cowboy Joe on anyway, so maybe before that deadline, I'll get that scheduled and get somebody on from Cowboy Joe. I think is a good idea.
Yep, that'd be a good idea.
So great. No, thank you, Brian, for bringing that up. Yeah, I didn't get to read the email. I started to read it and then got dragged away.
Again, day jobs.
Yep, I know. Exactly.
Can't get dragged away if you're sitting in your house.
That's right. So, all right, boys. Well, I think that's kind of covered the gamut. Good to see things are moving along here. It's just kind of crazy, right? College sports have turned into a full-time. It's 12 months a year, basically.
I'll be interested to see the direction things go. I mean, there's so much legislative talk right now about putting guardrails on everything. Like it's like when free agency started in the NFL and things just went crazy, and then they decided, okay, we can salary cap and we're going to put franchise tags in, and it kind of slowed everything down. We're in that expansion period right now. It'll all come together. It'll probably be another 10 years or so before they figure that out, but
maybe
it'll be interesting to watch for now.
10 years at this rate.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you, but I think the problem is with this not being a professional sports, the courts are not going to let you. They're going to say, nope, you've already allowed this and this. You can't go back.
I mean, isn't it professional sports now?
It is now, but not in name, right? So until they collective bargain, which I don't think way too difficult is what I've read, right? Too many people are saying, sure, like the answer to this is to get everybody into a collective bargaining agreement, but that's the sheer number of people is just.
Well, the answer to this is for the NCAA to grow a backbone and start putting forward solutions.
Oh, sure, 100%.
That's not going to happen.
But that ship sailed 20 years ago.
The NCAA would never do that.
Yeah. And then they cry about
grow a backbone or like anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they cry, well, why aren't we relevant anymore? Well, because you have no leadership. And you've caused all this to happen.
I would say it's irreparable harm at this point.
Yes. I think there we go. That is probably the textbook definition, Brad. So, yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, that's the other thing to keep track of. 2 is the budget. And then, as we said, the Of course, Wyoming hiring a new president, which I guess is, what did Drew tell us? I think March or April is kind of when they're targeting to announce that. So again, all this is coming together.
Yeah, because Seidel's done at the end of the academic year, which will be at the end of May.
Yep. So yeah, just everything is kind of falling apart at the same time. So it's not right. And speaking of leadership vacuums like the NCAA, the same thing's happening at the University of Wyoming, unfortunately. So, which is not good, right? None of us wants to see that. So hopefully soon here when they announce a new president, it's somebody with, some good experience, both academically and someone who's a proven leader who cares about athletics, because it's needed at this point in time. We can't have another president who doesn't care and just lets everything operate, like a ghost ship.
But I mean, being the president of the University of Wyoming is a tough job right now. You've got people are clamoring for athletic success. The legislature is attacking the university. That's a tough job.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine the new president walking in and be like, well, the legislature kind of wants to cut your budget by like, what is it, 30% or something goofy number?
Let's see. Clint's here. Sorry, Clint, didn't see you. Haven't seen Clint in a long time. Good to see you. Collective bargaining isn't that far off. Northern FB was before their time by 10 years.
That would be Northwestern. He corrected that in the next.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that's right. That is the answer. But I think from what I've read, it's a hard road to hoe. So, but maybe not. Maybe, right? Because both sides are getting squeezed. And so if the athletes, yeah, we saw it. We got you, man. But yeah, maybe if both sides are going to get squeezed, right? If the athletes see, hey, we're about to lose everything we've gained, then maybe that might make it easier for them. But again, they're going to get taken advantage of, just like now, where all these agents, in quotes, are getting all these kids to jump out of the portal. And I haven't seen the final numbers. I'll have to dig for next week's show to see the percentage of players who actually found schools is probably pretty damn low.
Say it was a bloodbath. Like it was a bloodbath. It was like
40% or something like that. Like it was a very high number.
Division I players who entered the portal, which is insane.
Well, but the number that found new homes was a bloodbath. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
there was like
that's what I'm saying, like
that never found a home.
What I'm saying is 40% of the players that entered did not find any sort of home. That's not even counting the step down.
I thought you were referring to. I saw a stat where it was 40% of the total of NCAA 1 players, both FBS and FCS, entered the portal, which is
it's higher this year. It's higher. It's above 50% this year.
It's a crazy number.
Not sustainable that you have to rebuild your team every year.
And then if half of those guys can't find homes at a comparable level, then wow.
Yeah. And as we're seeing in college basketball this year, like when you start talking about the guardrails that need to be put in place, if you've ever signed a pro contract, there's no way you should be allowed to play college basketball. Nope. And one player getting paid $7 million like an AJ Divinasta did this year, that ain't going to happen either. Like those are the two low hanging fruit sections where it's like, if you've ever played pro, you're done. See the freshman at New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's 23 and has been playing pro ball in Europe for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, I was watching some other school. Oh, it was Illinois. They like half their rosters from like Croatia or something.
Yeah. And Alabama, you've got a guy that he was playing in the G League. He has been playing professional basketball in the United States, and now he's playing at Alabama again because he's getting paid more.
That's the case. That's the case that's going to get this whole thing turned around.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And the only reason it ever happened is because the judge that decided it is a major Alabama booster, so they had to get recused.
Weird.
The whole thing's a mess.
Yeah. And then I've read there's another guy who was actual an NBA draft pick, who I guess got accepted to come back. I forget where.
No, that one's still a fight.
Is it? They're still fighting it? Okay. Wow. I mean, if you've been drafted.
He was drafted like 3 years ago, too.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Really takes the lore out of going to Twitter to announce that you're declaring for the draft.
Yeah.
As you know, now you
I'm
can
declaring for the draft, or I'm going to go play at Duke. Whoever wants to pay me more.
Sure, why not? That might be a good show. Instead of having a draft, it could be like a combo. They can get drafted, and then it could be like deal, no deal. And they can get up there, they can get drafted, and then a college can offer money, and then they can decide where they want to go live on TV.
It's like, listen,
there we go. I just made some.
The Washington Wizards are going to draft you number 2 overall, and they're going to offer you a 2-year, $10 million contract. Or you can go to Illinois and play for Brad Underwood, and he's going to offer you $5 million for a year.
There we go.
Well, even with that, it's like play for the Wizards or don't play for the Wizards.
There we go. I think we just made a lot of money for some network.
But it has to be like a guy sitting at a table with a hat, though.
Yeah.
Picks up the hat and puts it on.
I want the coaches on either side of him, too.
Yes. They all got to be there. Yeah.
Especially if it's Brad Underwood. That's the scariest looking dude in college basketball.
Ed Cooley tosses a chair at you if he doesn't get picked. He
all
doesn't
right,
get
we'll wrap up the show. But before we do, Brad, tell them about the audio version of this program and how they may track it down.
Oh, yeah. So we've kind of put it out there on the socials and out on the message board and whatnot. And it's included in our blogs that we post of the podcast. But if you haven't had a chance to find this audio version, you can go to Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon Music or iHeartRadio or, the other ones.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Pretty much anywhere.
Pretty much anywhere. You can find us.
If we're not on your preferred podcast platform, you can just copy and paste the link from whichever podcast platform we're on into that service, and we'll be there.
That's right. Yeah. So just WyoNation Roundup, of course, is the name there.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, yeah, you can head to the message board and find the RSS feed to plug into your platform of choice on your phone or whatever. So, yeah.
So aside from finding us on YouTube, live or replay, you can catch us out on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, whatever you listen to, and go hit the subscribe button and listen on your drive to work.
Also, you're welcome. We're all aware that we have a face for radio.
Exactly. It may be more enjoyable to listen to us than have to stare at us.
That is true.
So, all right, boys. Well, good to see you and good to talk some Wyoming Athletics. I don't know. What's the basketball schedule like next week? Is Wednesday open?
Next week, Utah State is the only game we've got. It's at 6 o'clock on this Saturday. That's the Gold Out. And then we don't play again until going to Moby on Valentine's Day for a 2 p.m. tip.
Okay, great. So we will be back next Wednesday for a roundup, talking, of course, basketball. We'll have a wrestling duels to talk about. Shay will have a great report, I'm sure. And then we'll see what crazy NCAA or football news pops up, because something will.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. So, all right. Until then, for Brad and Bryan, I am Chad. Thank you for joining us tonight. Everybody take care and go Pokes.
Go Pokes.